Okay, class, this is going to be a video not about supercapacitors, but about how to use SketchUp for schools or SketchUp online. First of all, take this video and right click on it, just like I'm doing here, and then right click in a different spot inside the same video window. You'll see this option in this white menu, Picture in Picture. So click on Picture in Picture, and that's going to give you a video here. Look, you can resize it. Whoa. Okay, that was a little weird. If you resize it, you can drag it around, you can hit play, pause, and all that good stuff. Do that with this video, and then go to the website, edu.sketchup.com. There it is at the top. Or if you go to your Rapid Identity, your dashboard in My Umble, you'll see SketchUp right here next to Schoology. Okay, so once you've opened up SketchUp, click on Create New. Now remember, pause this video at any time if I'm going too fast, because I am going to go fast. I'm trying to keep the video short. So really quickly, your controls in SketchUp, if you use the scroll wheel on your mouse, you can zoom in and out. Leave this lady here, by the way, that's going to help us. We're going to scroll in and out. Look, she's a teacher. She has a name tag. We're going to scroll in and out like this. Now, if you press in on that control wheel on your mouse, you get to orbit like this. That's very helpful. And as I'm still holding down this orbit button on my mouse, I hold down shift on the keyboard, and now I can pan. So this is panning, this is orbiting, and this is zooming in and out. We're going to not zoom too far out because we'll get too far away and we'll lose our place. What we're going to do is come over here to the toolbar. You'll see several tools over here. I'm going to assume this is your first time using SketchUp. Click on the rectangle button. When you click on a different tool, sub tools inside that menu kind of fan out like this. We're going to click the first one. That's your rectangle tool. The keyboard shortcut is R, so you could just press R on your keyboard. Now we're going to go to the origin. The origin is where the blue, the green, and the red axes come together. The blue axis is like your up and down axis, and then the red and the green are your typical XY axis. So we're going to go into the origin. We're going to click one time. It's important that you release the button. I'm going to click and release. Then the second step is to move in the correct direction. I'm going to move into the green and the red axis, not the dotted line, but the solid line part. The third step is to type in your dimension. I'm going to type in 4, 1.5. You will see those numbers appear in the lower right-hand corner of the screen where it says dimensions. So that is an active field right now. You do not have to click into that field. In fact, you cannot click into that field. That field just appears whenever you follow the steps that I'm giving you now. Now, after you've typed in your dimensions, you can press enter, but I want to show you a mistake that some people make. You see my dimensions are down there, the 4, 1.5. What I'm going to do now is move my mouse. Oh my goodness, I've moved my mouse and now they totally changed. So you see, wherever you put your mouse is where those dimensions are going to go. So it's important that you do not move your mouse while you're typing these in. Anyway, we're going to type in 4, 1.5 and then press enter. Now this is the scale that we're working on. So zoom in, orbit slightly around, and then pan over. Just get yourself in about this orientation right here, where that picture is taking up most of your screen. Okie dokie. Now, we're going to go to a new tool, the push-pull tool. It's over here, push-pull tool. The keyboard shortcut is P. We're going to click, I kind of messed something up there. All right, we're going to click one time. So when you have a push-pull tool in a two-dimensional object, it's going to be all grayed out like this to show you, hey, this is what you're about to select. So that's good. We'll select that by a click. Then we will move in the correct direction. Then we will type in our dimension. Our dimension is going to be 1/2, or you could type in 0.5. Okay, it's half an inch, and then press enter. When we're working with inches, we do not need to put the inch unit designator, which is a quotation mark. We don't need to do that. If we were going to try to input feet, then we would need to type in an apostrophe. Okay, so now we have this rectangle. This is the exact rectangle size of a 3-piece puzzle piece, but we have to put the hole in it now. So the next tool is the tape measure tool. That's over here. There's our tape measure tool. The second tool on here is the dimensions tool. We're going to use that at the end, but we're going to use the tape measure tool now. The tape measure tool keyboard shortcut is T. Now, where we use the tape measure tool makes a big difference. For today, we're just going to use it on an edge. So my mouse right now is pointing to an edge. You see the red square going along that edge line. If I go all the way to a corner, you'll see that it turns into a circle. We do not want to use any corners today with our tape measure tool. We're going to click on an edge though now, and I'm going to move up. Now you see how the line is red? If I were to go a different way, it would be blue. That's going up above the surface of the piece. We don't want that. We want it to be red. If you ever have trouble at any point when you're using SketchUp, if you have trouble getting SketchUp to inference to the correct area, the area that you want it to inference to, the correct, I should say, dimension, you can use the arrow keys. So if I press the up arrow key, it's going to snap to the blue dimension. If I press the right arrow key, it's going to snap to the red dimension. And if you were to press the left arrow key, it would go to the green, but I can't actually do that right now because I'm on a line that's not on that dimension. So I have to click my right arrow key, right for red, and I move in the correct direction. And now I'm going to type in the dimension. If you look on the paper that we have in class, it's 1 space 1/4. So I'm just going to let you look at that for a second, the way I type that in the lower right-hand field that says length now, and that is 1 space 1/4. Oh my goodness. Even our videos get interrupted with announcements. All right, I'm going to press enter now. 1 1/4. I'm going to press enter. Now there's two options. You could come from the top down and do the same thing. And just to show you there's multiple ways to do it, I'm going to type 1.25. That's the same equivalent there. The other thing you could do is come from this line and go up, and you would have gone up 1.5. By the way, if you're ever in this situation and you don't want to click, like you're like, oh, I started in the wrong spot, you can press escape, the upper left-hand button on your keyboard. Press escape. Okay, so now I have two lines. We're going to do the next two lines. They're 1/2 inch from the edge. So come to an edge and come to 1/2 inch. So another way to input data is just to click again. So I did my first click here, then I moved in the right direction, and you see each little detent that I go is another 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to click my second click at 1/2 inch. So there, right there, 1/2 of an inch. So now we have the surface of my rectangle divided into ninths, right? But we're only interested in the middle one. So let's go back to our rectangle tool. I'll press R on my keyboard for the keyboard shortcut. And we're going to connect the intersecting points. You see there's 4 intersecting points. We just need to click on 2 of them. So I'm going to click on one here, and then I'm going to go to the opposite one, not the adjacent one, but the opposite one right here, and click a second time. Then I push this down. So back to my push-pull tool, the P. I'm not going to click on this surface. I'm going to click on this surface one time, then I'm going to go down with it. Now I can go down to this edge. I could go down to a corner. I could just go down like this and type in 1/2. But the easiest way is to go ahead and click on one of these edges right here. So I'm nowhere near where I started, right? But what I want to do is push this down 1/2 inch. So you'll see the distance over there. It says 1/2 inch. So it's telling you it's 1/2 inch from where you started. So I'm going to click here. And look, it deletes it all the way because I basically have pushed that down to 0 because it was 1/2 inch tall and I made it shrink 1/2 inch. I pushed it down 1/2 inch. So that's your first piece. Look over here to the eyeglasses, the display button, and hit this big button that says delete all guides. And then all your guides go away. Okay, so that's our first piece. Now we need to do a couple things. Using the select tool, or you can press the space bar for a keyboard shortcut, we're going to 1, 2, 3, click 3 times. Make sure that all 3 dimensions are highlighted in this blue way right here. Then we're going to right click and select the middle option that says make component right in the middle. You could name this if you desired. I'm just going to say okay. So now this is a component. That means when I click on it, everything gets selected. The whole thing gets selected. So this is really helpful now because I can move it, and more importantly for us, I can copy it. So we're going to click on the move tool, and now watch my little pointer here in the middle of the screen. I'm going to press Control on my keyboard. Ready? I'm going to press it now. And you see that little plus appears. Make sure that you've got that little plus. Now I'm going to click on a corner. I find it's easier to click on a corner, and I'm going to move it right. Now you see the dotted green line in between my pieces where I clicked? That's what you want to see. You want to see that dotted green line. If I were to move it away from that, then it wouldn't be in line. I could even move it up too if I click up like that, the blue axis. But I want to be on the green line, so that's the left arrow key if you're having trouble finding it. And now I'm going to press Control again, move it over, make a second click. All right, so now I have 3 pieces. Now don't do what I'm about to show you, but I'm going to just show you real quick. If I were to change one thing, look, all 3 of them change at the same time. Well, I don't actually want to do that. So what I need to do with my select tool is right click on the middle piece and say make unique. Then right click on the left piece, or rather the right piece, actually it doesn't matter, and say make unique. And that first piece, I can't click it because it's already unique. Okay, so now I have 3 unique pieces. Now, if I want to change something here, this is super important. Double click it with your select tool selected. Double click that piece. If you don't double click it, any changes that you think you're making, you're not actually making to this piece. You're just laying geometry on top of this piece. Okay, now once it's in edit mode, you'll see this dotted gray box around your piece and everything else is dull, kind of dim and grayed out. What you're going to do now is press the tape measure tool, T for tape measure tool, and again I'm going to start on this edge. I'm going to start on an edge, not a corner, but an edge. When you start on an edge, it gives you this dotted line like that. If you didn't start on an edge, if you started on a corner, it wouldn't give you the dotted line. But we need the dotted line. And we're going to come up, here's your dimension, 1 space 1 3 / 1 6. In other words, 1 and 13/16. But just make sure you put a space between 1 and then the fraction. And you'll see it in the lower right-hand corner if you want to see what that looks like. Don't move your mouse, because otherwise it'll get all screwed up, and then press enter. Okay, you can do the same measurement from the top down, 1 and 13/16, or you can come to this line that you just made, the dotted line, click there and go up 3/8, 3/8, and press enter. So we've got 2 new guidelines. Let's use them. We're going to make a rectangle. Press R for rectangle tool. I've got 2 intersections. I've really got 4 intersections, but I'm going to connect 2 of them. One click here, move to the other one, and click there. Okay, so now we actually have a rectangle on the face here. So I'm going to press P for my push-pull tool, and you see now I can select one of these areas. I'm going to select this area, and I'm going to push it down just like before, all the way to that bottom edge. And for some reason, oh my goodness.
If you are in the building, your mom is waiting for you in the AP's office. If you are in the building, your mother is waiting.
We're going to use the eraser tool. So click on the second option over here, the eraser, or you can press E on your keyboard, and we're going to drag across the line and onto that face. And it is important actually with the eraser tool that you drag. It makes things a lot easier. So I'm going to start here, click, and drag across the line and release, and you'll see these go away. You can do the same thing with the guidelines, just because you're right there. Okay, so now that's piece number 2. Go ahead and press the space bar to get into your select tool, and we'll come over here, double click on piece number 3. All right, I'm going to go a little faster now. Tape measure, bottom line, come up. The measurement is 1 3/4. Press enter. This measurement is 1/2, 1/2. We're going to do one more measurement, starting on this edge. Click it one time, move over 1/8 of an inch, 1/8. Press enter. Over to your rectangle tool, connect the 2 intersections. Pause it if I'm going too fast. Connect the 2 intersections. Then get your push-pull tool, select this, push it all the way down. Come over here, select this tiny one, and push it down 1/2 an inch. So you can inference pretty much anywhere that's 1/2 an inch below. And for some reason on these ones with an outside edge, you got to use this eraser tool, drag it across, get rid of your dotted lines too, get rid of that dotted line. There we go. Now we have a 3-piece puzzle, but we're almost done, not quite. What we need to do now is come over here to this dimension tool. So under the tape measure fan, it's the second option. Click on that one. Now the way to use the dimension tool, it's kind of tricky. You have to make 3 clicks. And this one, you can only click on corners. So we're going to click this corner, first click, this corner, second click, and then look, wherever I move now, I'm not holding down any buttons by the way, wherever I move is going to paste this number, 1 1/2. So I'm going to click it here because it looks nice there. And I'm just going to go around and do the same thing. So everywhere that I put this dimension, I need you to put these dimensions too. These are all the critical dimensions. Not on the blue. Try to not put it on the blue, okay? I don't want that on the blue. I want it on the red axis. Or the green. Also, if you, like, for example, on this one, I just clicked down here first and then here second. So that means if I were to come back to this corner and click it, I'd be editing what I just did. So you can't, if I'm, so I want to make this dimension right here from this corner to this corner. I cannot start on this lower one. I've got to come up here. First click here, second click here is fine, and then come over into this space. It's kind of a weird thing there. Okay, so that's all the important dimensions. Oh no, we're missing one, the 4-inch one. So the overall height. Tell you what we can also do is the depth of these pieces, or the thickness. Okay? All right, now, this is your 3-piece puzzle model. Good job, you learned how to use SketchUp. Make sure you save your work. You can save it in your drive. You can create a new folder. I have a folder called SketchUp files. You can name it whatever, and then save it there. Make sure you save it. Now, to turn it in, this is what you're going to do. You're going to click on the SketchUp menu, go down to Download, go to the second option, PNG. PNG is a type of picture file. We're going to click on that, and you see you can orbit around here. It leaves you right where your view was before. You can zoom in, you can actually even pan and all that stuff. So give me this view right here. It should look just like this. And then we're going to press the big blue button, export as PNG. It's going to download this file right here. It's going to download this file to your computer's downloads folder. So you'll see that down there. Oh, my downloads there. And then you're going to upload that to the Schoology assignment where we started, okay? Great job, everybody. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing and didn't take you too long. You just learned how to use SketchUp. Congratulations.